Thank you, Dean Hickson, for that warm welcome. Before I go into my remarks, I would like to provide a content warning for brief mentions of violence. Thank you. Good morning and welcome students, faculty, staff, trustees, and other members of our college community. To our incoming first year and transfer students, now having entered our gates, I welcome you to Pomona College, to the Pomona College community, and to the beginning of your first academic year. To my soon-to-be graduating seniors, I join you all on the final leg of our journey, having bared our added riches as we soon depart from the gates of Pomona, and look to continue our exploration and pursuit of intellectual curiosity, creativity, and passion elsewhere in the world. We have all entered this institution as eager, thoughtful, and reverent explorers of academia and human endeavor. And yet today, I would like to take the opportunity to recognize and reemphasize that in these most tumultuous and challenging times, where we are entering a complex world unlike any other, our pursuit of knowledge and exchange of ideas and experiences are not isolated processes within the gates of Pomona and are not without responsibility. In recent times, when threats of global nuclear warfare, shooting of unarmed Black and brown bodies, targeted violence towards the LGBTQ community, internationally US-sanctioned bombings and natural disasters, and the systemic separation of immigrant families from their children are just some of the ongoing current events that plague and affect various of our on-campus communities, I ask how we, as members of Pomona College, are questioning the value of our education and what it means to us, and how do we think about its responsibilities during such challenging times. While today we may all be embarking on new and critical chapters of our lives, a commitment to the liberal arts education that is not only broad and deep, but as well encourages dreaming boldly and taking intellectual risks, please know that your engagement with this institution and your impact had will go beyond you as an individual, and what you ultimately attain from your time at Pomona is a service of many kinds. First, a service to ourselves, change, growth, and radical recovery. For each and every one of us have overcome daunting challenges and obstacles to be here today in this very auditorium, to be a part of a unique collective of socially responsible, collaborative, and daring minds. A service to our families, loved ones, and many others, those who have not only loved and supported us unconditionally, but as well have sacrificed so much for our well-being and our agency to be where we are at today. A service to our native lands and communities and homelands that we left behind, whether as an immigrant youth, international college student, or leaving from a community just unlike this one, all in the hopes that one day we may return educated, skilled, and trained to give back to the land that fostered our identities and cultures. A service to those faculty members and staff members who provide exceptional teaching and mentorship while understanding and advocating on behalf of student concerns, going beyond the call of duty and assuring an equitable learning experience for all. A service to all our younger peers, our mentees, who are still learning to navigate campus resources and power structures, those whose presence enriches our campus and motivates our student leaders and mentors to commit to the future of Pomona. A service to all the student leaders and activists that came before us and performed countless hours of labor, educating administrators and faculty of our lived experiences, fighting and advocating for student mentor programs and resource centers, and supporting students of systemically marginalized backgrounds and experiences during a time the college could not. A service to all the future students of Pomona College so that one day we may no longer feel the need to question our existence and belonging to the college campus, so that one day the stigma associated with mental health, disability accommodations, and neurodivergency may be completely eradicated from the culture of academia, so that one day we may foster a campus culture that is truly inclusive to people of all backgrounds, nationalities, races, genders, sexual orientations, identities, religions, political views, and just other ways of thinking. And lastly, a service to a greater society, one in which we all share the common interests and desire to contribute to and make a difference in, nurtured within all of us the betterment of the world. Regardless of what field of human endeavor we seek to immerse ourselves in, whether the sciences or the arts, the businesses or Romance languages, scholarship or public service, it is extremely important to be mindful that the pursuit and production of knowledge occurs within a framework of set norms and practices regarding how to think, interact with one another, and respond when differences met. Here at Pomona, we affirm that the strength of the college and our ability to thrive academically comes from the diversity of our community. But in addition, the responsibility given to us to engage with the liberal arts and with each other so that we may learn to overcome our differences, including those extremely radical perspectives different from our own, and ultimately enable vibrant intellectual exchanges to occur on campus. As Pomona's campus is an environment that is conducive to learning and change, we must make strides to develop skills of civic engagement and empathy, so that one day we may continue to being open to new ideas and new perspectives. We must even be open to the possibility of being wrong. Without exposure to new perspectives and the means to have our ideas challenged, we fail to inspire intellectual curiosity and the ability to foster critical thinking and effective communication, losing the very skills and tools that enable us to be agents of change, not just at Pomona, but in greater society. And yet, I recognize that the work to engage with others can be an individual act of courage, generosity, and perhaps slight humility. Therefore, I need to reassure you, as ASPC president, that everyone in this community has the right to be heard, to be listened to, and to be treated with dignity and respect. In fact, we need to reassure one another of this promise, because this ultimately rests with all of us. To be able to dare to disagree requires feeling safe, understood, and included. So let us work together towards a world that wholeheartedly engages in learning and understanding. As the academic year of 2018-2019 approaches, I want to wish you all the very best throughout the year, and I want to remind you all that, yes, you belong here. And just how Gabby said earlier, never be afraid to reach out to anyone. Look around you. We are all Pomona, and Pomona is all of us. Thank you.